You can literally just make any piece of content and it can go viral. One of my videos reached 1 million once on TikTok in the beginning, and I saw what 1 million looks like in real life. And now I have a reel sitting on 50 million. Vine existed, Instagram existed, Facebook existed, TikTok came and screwed everything up. Allah had created time, and it's like a fabric, you know, like it's a cloth maybe, and we are just on that dimension.
Time does not exist. Time is a pillar of existence. So without time, there will be no existence.
They say jinn have the ability to convert matter into energy and then back into matter. So they're basically able to manipulate this part of time, I guess.
Happiness is not the goal.
You can't achieve 100% happiness.
Happiness is the result.
Yeah.
And since I started thinking like this, I become happy because once you make something as a goal, the scarcity of losing it make you lose it.
Today's Hollywood is TikTok and YouTube.
It's true, bro.
Today's Hollywood, like you can become a star in your region just by being famous on these platforms.
Welcome on Checked, and today I have a guest that changed the narrative of what we call podcast. Usually podcasts are something serious, but for some reason there is this guy that everyone is watching, and he's using podcasts for comedy and some critical thinking as well. I have today with me Fahed. How are you doing?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for coming, by the way.
No problem at all, man. It's my pleasure.
You know, Fahed, you know the reason I wanted to invite you? It's not for the comedy that you do, because for me it's not comedy. It's actually the way you come up with these subjects, and it's very interesting because if someone can think about a lot of subjects that are very unusual and counterintuitive, it means you have something there, like you have some critical thinking that I want to discover.
Yeah, I mean, it all started for me, content started like way before TikTok, way before Instagram. I mean, Instagram was always there. I started following some creators who I loved in terms of comedy, and I saw that they were not following trends. They were creating something unique at that time. A shout out to Just Rain, Casey Phrase. These are some of the people from Vine. And back then, I mean, I didn't have any followers whatsoever, but I got onto Snapchat and Twitter, and I realized that you can actually build a following by doing whatever you want.
True. I mean, especially if it's unique.
Yeah. And so for me, my first time going viral was a video of third wheeling a couple, just putting my head on my own shoulder like this when the couple was sitting in the front in the car, and the girl was resting her head on the shoulder of the guy. And this thing went viral on Twitter. So I was like, okay, so you can literally just make any piece of content and it can go viral.
Well, not any piece of content. You just have the creativity for it. But some people, they try, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But I think the reason why it works for you, because you are creative. Above all, you are creative.
Yeah.
How you started that, just for me to know.
So it started actually before TikTok. It was on Twitter mainly for me.
Oh, you start with Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
On Twitter, it was the first time that I saw virality, or what is virality even? Like today, anything can be viral on TikTok, right? But back then, getting anything more than your followers as views was considered okay. You went viral. So I just had like 500 followers on Twitter, which was my friends, university, work friends. And I remember one of my tweets just overnight reached 500,000 views. And that was a video of me. I was going to shake hands with a robot, and I just pulled my hand back. And this video went super viral for some reason, the way it was.
So the idea was you were about to shake your hand with a robot?
It was a robot who was like just standing there. You know those waiter, I don't know what they call them, but basically they're just standing there with a screen on them. And,
I got your point. So you pull a joke on the robot.
Yeah, I was just pulling a joke on the robot.
One day that robot will like get pissed. I'm
maybe,
sure.
maybe, you know, because the data is out there.
Talking about AI, I mean, I know this subject's a little bit close to AI. Do you think that, like, as content creators, digital marketers and all of that, do you think that AI is gonna rule over this area of marketing and all of that, and that the human touch will fade from that?
I mean, you kind of have to take a step back and see how technology plays a role in our life from day one since it's been introduced. Farmers' jobs were replaced by machines. People in the factories who were just doing simple tasks were replaced by robots. I don't think it's going to take over. I think it's going to help us do more. And so, yeah, it is going to take over jobs of people who are just being robots right now. But the
Like
people
the
who,
editing things.
yeah, no, I mean, so there are tasks that can be replaced, and if they can be replaced, they should be replaced. And if you're making money from a task that can be done faster, then I would believe that you're just filling a role
Yeah.
in the community. But if you're someone who creates, like genuinely you create things, or you try to reinvent the wheel, or if you try to push knowledge, try to understand data, you will never run out of a job. Your job will only get faster and better with AI. And that's what I've experienced.
That's what I also experienced, because all my work, it's based on creativity. Actually, regarding YouTube, I'm sure you're going to be interested in what I do in YouTube.
Yeah.
It's related to script writing and all of that.
Nice.
And AI helped me a lot. Like I use, for example, ChatGPT for some wordings sometimes and some titles. I don't take the exact title, but it opened the door for other words. You know, it helped me because, you know, English is my fourth language. So, you know what I mean? Sometimes you don't find enough words to express your idea. And this is where
I've also recently started YouTube just like 2 or 3 months ago. And there's this extension on Google Chrome called vidIQ that I use. And
vidIQ, yeah.
It basically suggests what title will work for this video, what thumbnail will work for this video. I mean, it's not, if you just depend on the extension, you're not going to do well, but like it makes the work way easier.
You can add your touch.
You can add your touch to it for sure. And I've seen it actually help.
Bro, actually vidIQ, I think, is the only, it's a whole agency. You know about it. Yeah. They do a lot of videos about like
how to grow your channel and stuff like that.
So we are having the same challenge, which is interesting because I want to grow on YouTube. I love YouTube.
Yeah.
And I love movies and I want to do short movies.
I think personally same. I think movies is like the end game for content creation, because like if you can get a bunch of people to sit in a room and watch you for 1.5 to 3 hours, then you've actually achieved the highest level of attention, you know?
You're so right, bro.
So just like you, even my end goal one day is to be able to create movie level content, basically.
Okay, did you write a script already?
I've never done scripts in my life.
All right, scripts are what I love to do. And but why you choose movies? I just want to know if it's
so. I mean, for me,
because you know, sorry, I interrupted you. I'm shocked that we have the same goal. I was expecting you are more into media, digital marketing.
I got into media because it came in my path of doing my work. Like I wanted to be like Tony Stark, have my own engineering firm, build like some sort of technology that would change the world, something to do with building or creating stuff.
That explained the critical thinking that you have.
Yeah, it has not, like I didn't grow up thinking I want to be in media, never. It was just like towards the end when I was in my second university, I had a job opportunity, and in that opportunity I was asked a few questions and it opened my mind, and I was like, okay, what am I doing in engineering? I don't need to be I could be in any field and I can achieve my goals, because
I can tell you why you were in engineering. I think you know why. I mean, you just used this for the sake of the conversation, but I think you know why, because we are programmed since we were kids. Oh, you have to be a doctor, an engineer. You know, you have to have a job. But there is a lot of engineers. There is a lot of doctors, and people. They are not. I don't know why they are not seeing this. It's very obvious. There is a lot of doctors. Why a father is telling his son to be a doctor or an engineer? Believe me, it's not the way. It's not at all.
It's also, you know, we can't blame them because their data is limited to what they've lived in their lives. And I kind of learned that over the last 10 years now. Our parents or the people above us from their generation, they didn't experience life the way we're experiencing. The access to knowledge that we have today,
it's unbelievable.
It's dangerous, more than unbelievable. Like a kid who's 15 or 13 years old can do more than an adult who's 30 or 40 years old.
Let's open a bracket about what you just said now, and then we're going to come back into the movie subject. See, you said that there is a lot of information now.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this information, it's somehow manipulating or directing us towards the same thing? Like, is it killing individuality that we are consuming all the same information, all the same data? What do you think about that? Do you think it's, especially from a digital marketer who do this?
100%, I think that there's some sort of agenda behind any sort of content that's going out there. You can't, with a pinpoint, be like, if it's created in a specific way to damage the society, but it's definitely created in a way that it keeps the consumer hooked. So whether the outcome is positive or negative is not the main concern. The main concern is how to make money for these big firms,
Yeah.
for these big businesses, for the giants around the world. That's why the F&B industry, the pharmaceutical industry, similarly the media industry is not looking for your best interest. It's a company.
Yeah, true.
Right? So, I mean, you're just another particle in 8 billion
you're
particles.
Just a dot that is connected
so
to other
if you
dots.
live or die, doesn't really matter because you're always going to be recycled with another person.
But now you see a lot of kids who want to be YouTubers. You see a lot of kids who... That's what I mean. Like, do you think it's killing individuality from another side? Do you think like because of the high following that we're having and the influencers that we see every day on YouTube and Instagram is affecting kids' mentality and they also want to be YouTubers or influencers?
In every gold rush, there are going to be followers, right?
Yeah, true. It's the new gold rush in the end of the day.
Right, so people are going to want to be that.
It's the new gold rush.
Basically.
Yeah, I mean, like if you said a very interesting word now. Actually, you just you answered it right. What I asked you, it's actually the new gold rush.
Yeah.
I mean, it started with gold.
Yeah.
Then it went to electricity. Then internet. Or like before that, there was like Thomas Edison, electricity actually, internet, and then apps and websites. Yeah. And now we are in the new layer.
Marketing, branding,
self-branding,
personal
and all of
branding.
That. That's true. That's true. And to come back to what you said, like there's a lot of corporations that they have like an agenda. I mean, when I discovered the history of what you just said, I don't know if you know about the certain person called Edward Bernays.
I might have heard the name, but no, I can't put it.
Actually, we're gonna go back to 1920. So it's in the 20s. Actually, he's the nephew of Sigmund Freud.
Okay.
So the nephew of Sigmund Freud, which is one of the biggest psychologists in the world, he was the guy who created what we call today advertising, even though advertising existed before, but the real marketing, because you know that he literally took the word propaganda and he created the synonym for that word that we call marketing. Because actually marketing works like propaganda.
It's the same thing.
Just to give you an example, how smart is this guy? Basically in the 20s, he was contacted by Lucky Strike, which is a cigarette brand, you know? And they have this ugly emerald green cigarette. And, you know, they told him we're not selling and blah, 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 and we need to sell more. What he did, first of all, he contacted all the fashion designers and he paid them to use the color emerald green in their shootings. He used the feminist movement in those years.
Women empowerment.
Yeah, the woman empowerment was starting, you know. That time, they were right. At least they were right. What happened is that he told them that you can call cigarettes as torches of freedom. So if you see the strength of the word,
like the Olympics,
exactly, and he resembled it to cigarettes, and from that, women actually started smoking because in those years actually it was considered taboo, and like that the sales of smokes or cigarettes start increasing. So that's just to come back to the
crazy. That's
just
insane.
to come back, and even the idea of breakfast, American breakfast with bacon.
Yeah, it was all marketing.
He created.
That's crazy. I need to look into this
bacon.
guy.
So you see, bacon with eggs, it didn't exist. So a company that make bacon, they paid him. They was like, okay, you want to sell your bacons? Let me do something. And he contacted all.
The guy could charge billions today for such a campaign.
Exactly.
But you see, today you can do that with data. You don't need to come up with something so creative or that's brilliant what he did. But like today, if you because there's so much data available of people on planet Earth that you can just study the behavior of this data and how it's moving based on the response to content. And you can create any piece of content and make it viral. And that's what I do in my agency as well. Like I've understood now over the last 4 years that people react in a specific way to certain pieces of content. And so based on that, you can conclude that if you do this, it will go viral or it will get people to engage.
But how? Okay, give me an example if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you might be very familiar with Dubai is the safest city as a structure of videos.
Yeah, I mean, everybody started
4 or 5 of them were created by me in the beginning. and then everyone copied.
Bro.
Yeah. I'm not even kidding, bro.
That's
I'm not even
good.
kidding. Like,
There is a lot of them.
Yeah.
So you were the first one who.
I wouldn't say I was the first one. Maybe someone must have done it. I can't claim that I created it, but I have done that with 5 of my clients, and 5 of them have gone viral. Zohaib is one of them.
But you cannot tell me that anybody can do this.
I mean, if you study it long enough, you can do it.
Yeah.
Like I can pull out for you, like on parallel from 3 different industries that I manage, the same exact style of content, and it works. Like the recent most video that that really works. I mean, not recent. This is quite old. Just holding money in front of the camera and being like, "Hey, what can I get for 50 dirhams from this restaurant?" And then doing the same thing in real estate. Hey, what can I get for 400,000 dirhams? And then the same thing in a rent-a-car. What can I get for 1,000 dirhams? This hook works every single time.
And because of the money thing.
Because of the money.
Yeah, I mean, even in YouTube, by the way, if you notice. Yeah.
So YouTube and TikTok, I'm very new to YouTube, but I'm kind of realizing that it's very similar because at the end of the day, the consumer are the same humans.
True.
Just shorter form content, it's a little fast, but on YouTube, which is the long form content where title and thumbnail are playing the games, it's the same people.
I think what's going to happen to you? You're going to be hooked on YouTube.
Yeah, bro, my goal this year, my objective this year is to crack 100% the fundamentals, the foundation of YouTube. That's,
bro, yeah.
And I'm posting 1 video every single day on my YouTube channel.
But why you choose that? Sorry, because look, I'm not like a YouTube success.
Yeah.
But I am obsessed to YouTube and I know a lot of things about it.
I don't know
I started 5 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And because I work and I do YouTube, I couldn't manage. But now I'm full-fledged, full in content creation.
Okay.
So I can tell you about YouTube a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But why you choose to post every single day?
So very simple reason behind that is because the more data you have on the algorithm for your channel, for any platform, the more you know what you should not do. So Thomas Alva Edison created the bulb 1,000 times or 10,000 times. The 10,000th time he got it right. So now he knows 9999 times what he should not do.
Exactly.
So same thing in YouTube. If I post a video every single day for the rest of my life and I don't go viral, so now I have lived the life of 7,000 days, let's say for example, and I have 7,000 ways of not making a YouTube video. If I am successful on 6,999th, before dying, I crack YouTube.
Yeah, so you don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah, you're doing it for the fun of it. If it cracks, it's cracked. Yeah,
it doesn't. You move on.
Yeah. Because for me, it just comes back to quality versus quantity. And when it comes to
once
YouTube,
you know what's working, then you can focus on quality. Because no machine, which is your algorithm, cares if you spend this much on your video or you spend this much on your video. The machine just cares about how people are reacting to it.
Actually, when it comes to YouTube, I don't know if it's 100% true, but YouTube AI can know if the video is of a high quality. I'm not talking about the editing style. I'm talking about the the resolution.
The resolution is short. So this is something I don't know yet.
Animations in it. You know that YouTube AI
is very strong.
Stronger than Instagram.
It has more data.
You have no idea,
linked
man.
with Google.
You know that a video in YouTube can hit after 1 year of posting it.
It has a strong shelf life. I know about this.
And if it hits, it will keep like going up. It will never stop.
Another reason why I started YouTube is because already there are people posting my content on YouTube for the last 1 year and they're getting views, millions of views even. One creator recently duetted my video and he just posted on YouTube. We got 2 million views. So I was like, it's just another platform like TikTok, like Instagram. That's there. It's free to post. You don't have to pay to make an account there. And it can potentially become a second source of income if you do it right. So why not pursue it?
Some people is their first source of income. It's the main source of income.
I've heard.
But I agree with you when you said YouTube is just another platform like Instagram and TikTok in terms of that is free.
Yeah.
But it's not just another platform. For me, YouTube is a big thing. A scouting system. YouTube follows a scouting system. Actually, YouTube is a scout. I give you an example. Justin Bieber. Just one example. He was discovered in YouTube. So I think what YouTube is doing now, it's scouting for podcasters. That's one of the reasons I started podcast.
Nice.
And YouTube is going to enter in a competition with Netflix.
For sure.
So very soon, I don't know if you noticed that there's films now.
In YouTube, I have noticed.
Yeah. it's a future step. It's a step. It's
There are
gonna be
already some creators on YouTube who make short series. I've seen them, and they're really good.
Yeah, web series.
Web series.
Actually, I have a web series. I write a web series.
Nice.
Yeah, it's called the Devil's Agency. We're gonna speak about it.
For sure, man.
So basically, that's why I'm interested in YouTube, because I know if I cannot make it in Hollywood, it's very far, and there is a lot of crazy stuff happening there. Netflix maybe, but YouTube for sure. My game is gonna be in YouTube, and why not also Netflix?
For sure.
In the future, why not?
Inshallah. For me, the way I look at film and movies in general, my end goal, and it's a crazy dream I have, but if it happens, it happens. I want to reverse engineer how a movie is made and make it go viral through TikTok and Instagram and maybe through YouTube as well, and create a dummy website that is in competition to Netflix or any other streaming channel, and bring all the traffic there from TikTok or YouTube. And that would be my own website. And then if that works, then I can start creating movies with my own guidelines and my own rules, unlike following Netflix or YouTube. Because at the end of the day, I've seen a lot of creators, they just get punished, and sometimes they're not even doing anything wrong. But it's just not in the favor of the guidelines of these platforms.
Yeah, well, actually, it's the YouTube. It's not easy to have if you're the owner or you're the organization that is responsible for YouTube. It's not easy. You're having a lot of voices from left and right, a lot of parties.
My end goal is to become an organization like that. I know that the end game can't be by, like, you're just feeding into an ecosystem that already exists. I want to create a system that. But
I don't see, like, how I translate this in my mind is it's as if you're telling me, oh, I want to go and mine gold again. It's like you're coming back to the old gold, because it
doesn't have to be YouTube. It could be something new at the time when we created. But
like you said, it's a website.
Yeah.
The way I see it is layers, because of gold, currency is hyped.
Yeah.
Because of electricity, there is entrepreneurship and there is internet.
Yeah.
Because of internet, there is websites. Because of websites and hardware, development of hardware, there is apps. Because of apps, there is now influencers and content creators, and this is where we are. So I think if you are telling me that you're gonna create your own platform, it's like you are, I don't know how, but you're like coming back to the layer before it. You got my point?
We all said that up until Vine existed, Instagram existed, Facebook existed, TikTok came and screwed everything up.
Yeah.
In 2020.
And it's just hit in 2020.
Right.
It's just 4 years ago.
It's just 4 years ago. I'm not saying I'm going to create another platform. That's like way out of the window. And it's not even in my pathway right now. But I am saying that in my life, before I die, I want to create something that people study in textbooks in school.
You want to leave your mark in the world. That's very rare people think like this. And
like everything else is so small for me. Like,
you know what? I want to ask you something. Do you enjoy like watching a football match?
I don't watch football.
This is exact. I knew you're gonna be like. I know you're gonna answer like people who don't care about their haircut and they don't give a fuck about what's about soccer. They want to leave a mark. They want to do something that lives forever.
Bro, I was dragged to the World Cup in Qatar with my friend. I didn't even know who the players are. I was like, is Messi playing right now?
You don't. No, why I ask you this? Not because of soccer or football. I ask you this just to know what excites you, because my friends they can be excited.
I'll tell you what excites me. If I create, like, in today's world, in the last 4 years, if I create a video and that video is new, it's not done before by anyone else, and that video organically goes viral, that makes me go crazy. Or like if in YouTube, for example, I've posted 85 videos now in the last so many months. The 84th video got 1,000 views.
And you're happy,
every other video got 100 views.
Like,
I'm like, holy shit, how did that happen?
Yeah.
That excites me, because that's something I built. You know, I built the consistency on my platform, on my channel, and without any external influence of inorganic paid ads whatsoever, this thing went up. This is like, you didn't create something, but you created a feeling in a way.
Bro, and you know what's interesting about YouTube? For me, I had this doubt that, oh, fuck, maybe this script writing and movie making, I have to give it up. Because I used to work in Louis Vuitton.
You know Yusuf
Yusuf, yeah, Yusuf, he was one of my podcasts.
Yeah, I know him as well.
Yusuf, one of the most interesting people I met
I
in
know
Louis
him.
Vuitton.
Yeah.
He's a very smart guy, and he's the wolf of Dubai Louis Vuitton stores.
I swear
he's
to God,
so
this
good
guy
in
is
sales.
a genius.
You know, when you see him,
I have seen the TikTok of you and him. He showed it to me.
Which one exactly?
You did a podcast with him.
Yeah,
I've seen the clip.
him and Matthew from
I've seen
Designer
that clip.
Community.
I've
yeah,
seen that clip.
When you see Yusuf selling, it's fun.
I met Yusuf 3
Yeah.
years ago because one of my real estate agents, his wife was
Yeah.
connected with him for something, and it was crazy.
Yeah, and he's very humble. I like people
He's
who
a
are
great
successful and humble. Yeah.
Great guy.
I was telling you something about YouTube, right? Yeah. So I was starting to give up, and I was like, "Look, Walid, you like scripts, but you cannot shoot a movie now."
Yeah.
It took me 4 years to shoot my first short movie, and it was just before Ramadan, and we didn't even finish editing. But before that, I was like, "Okay, let me exercise my scripts in YouTube video."
Yeah, it's easy.
All right. I took the series Friend. All right, you know Friends, the series,
The TV show.
the TV show,
Yeah.
and I did a script of how their life would be if they were not friends. That video got me. The first video I posted on YouTube, you can see it. It got me 2,000 views.
Wow.
The second video is part 2 of the first video, 4,000 views.
Wow.
The third video, if Jack survived the Titanic, I used another movie, Revolutionary
yeah.
Roads, and I linked it with Titanic. It got me 22,000 views.
Beautiful.
And I didn't post for 4 months, work and all of that, and I had a problem. And then I did another video if Neo took the blue pill, 4,000 views.
You should do more of that, bro.
Bro, it's time consuming and it's so much fun. But I was like, look, I'm good in scripts. I have a proof.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure. For sure.
I proved it. And it took my editing is not the best editing, but it got me one of my videos after just 2 months not 2 months, 3 weeks. My third video, I posted it on the third week. It got me 22,000 views.
Amazing.
So yeah, I am good in scripts. That's checked.
Perfect.
The name of the
there's
podcast.
proof. Yeah.
There is
Nice.
proof. So coming back to what you said, once you get a 1,000 view on a vlog or 1,000 views on a vlog, it means your vlog, it's 1,000 person is watching it. It's a stadium.
It's crazy, bro. I have done the math. I have looked at pictures where it says 1,000. I have done that after I've seen one of my videos reached 1 million once on TikTok in the beginning, and I saw what 1 million looks like in real life. And now I have a reel sitting on 50 million. 50 million is the population of some people, bro.
Actually,
country.
let's come back to that. Oh, you know what? I wanted to do, but just the editing, I didn't have the time to do it. I wanted to take 5 of your reels and try to make them serious.
So before the podcast, if you dig deeper on the page, you will see I was doing a lot of different sarcastic content.
Yeah.
There was never like
I see sarcasm. Yeah, you use
that's
sarcasm,
the theme, right? So before my account actually started growing, I was making fun of my family, my mom, my dad, how the Pakistani mother is in certain situations, and also part of my content was making fun of jinn.
Actually, you know who told me about the jinn first?
Who?
Zuhaib.
Yeah.
Actually, you popped in my it's been spoken about you in my podcast 2 times.
Really?
So in Zuhaib podcast,
Yeah.
he talked about you. If you watch the podcast, you will hear about yourself.
I shall check it out.
When I did a podcast with Tony, it was the same thing. He told me, I remember it clearly. He told me when it comes to grabbing attention on social media, Fahed, he's a ninja. I was like, look, my next podcast should do with Fahed.
Both of them are really good people, my really good clients and friends. Like they're like family. So yeah, this jinn was actually like I grew up with this fear of there's jinn around you, and I get scared at night. Till date, I can't sleep alone at night. By the way, like I need to have a roommate.
I have a brother who's like this.
Yeah, like I get scared even if there's nothing. Like I get scared. For me, it's like growing up because we had paranormal, not crazy experiences, but like you have this fear.
Yeah, it's like
some people are having phobia.
It's a phobia. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 95% in your head.
So I was like, how can I make fun of this? So I created a character who's literally like, he looks like a jinn. What does a jinn look like? You don't even know. And I started making fun of that. And then I made fun of a few other things. And then I remember one of my clients, he was like a motivational speaker. And at that time, Gary Vee was going viral as well.
He's still going by.
Yeah, this is like
Yeah.
2-3 years ago during COVID, and I just started making motivational speech videos, but I'm saying nonsense. Like I'm literally gibberish.
So this is gibberish. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Sometimes you use the same thing. Sometimes I see that. But look, I want to ask you about something. I wish I can find it quickly.
You can tell me, I can tell you if you have the idea of it.
No, it's actually I forgot the.
10,000. Why do we say 10?
Yeah, it was about the it was about how you thought about this, about baking
So
cookies, and we cook bacon and we bake cookies. That's sick.
I'm
That's so good.
I'm gonna burst your bubble, bro. Like, I think 6 months ago, I stopped even creating my own questions. There are people DMing me questions. There are questions in the comments. There are Google forums talking about these questions. So all I do now is, when I have free time, I go on Reddit, on YouTube, and I write shower thoughts concerning questions, make a list of like 20 questions, sit in front of the camera and say, there was a time where I would actually sit down and think. Like the first iteration, like first 150 videos was me. When it starts going viral, and when you realize that the algorithm really doesn't care if you're creating it or anyone else is creating it, just...
But that one blew my mind. There is a lot of look. There is at least 20 that I watched like 5 times.
Bro,
at least 20. But this one, it's the last one.
Yeah.
There is ones before it that was like how he thought about. And
I didn't think about that. I won't take credit for
but
it.
like at least you.
I'm
like,
just a trader.
You use it. You know how to use it. So you didn't thought about it. But I want to thank you for putting it there, because it's fun, and it's, you know what happens when you hear a piece of content like this, you start paying attention to words.
Yeah.
Because I really like this word games. Like some words, you can play with them in such a crazy way, and I use that a lot.
So what I do is, when I find one video that works, like this bacon cookies bacon, now I will find other combinations of words that can work. So now I know that this worked. So I'll tell you.
Did you try it in ChatGPT?
I have tried ChatGPT once, and it actually worked.
Really?
So it was a successful experiment. There was a video that I did where I said some question just like this. It went viral. Then I put this question in ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT to give me similar questions. So what ChatGPT did, it replaced, like, for example, the word bacon with another word like cookie, or like with apple, or like just it gave me a random word, and it said, try using this. And I tried. So ChatGPT didn't think. ChatGPT was not creative. I gave it
it's like a calculator.
I gave it a creative structure. It just fill in the blanks for me. And so I also noticed, like, with my own videos, like now, if one of my videos, which is the most viral, is when people are born deaf, what language do they hear in?
That's another one,
right?
You know why I like that one? Because this is what I think about. Like, if somebody never saw something, how he knows shapes and colors.
My next one of my clips you will see. Now, this I didn't get from Google. I just used this video. It went viral, so I thought about it. I was like,
it's a moment of revelation. Like, oh.
So now I'm gonna make a video. If you're born blind, what color do you see color in?
Oh, you're gonna do it.
I did it already.
Oh, you did it already. I didn't see that one.
It's gonna come live. It's in the drafts. I'm sitting on like 20 drafts right now as we're speaking.
But it's not online yet.
No, it's in. Because every day one video should go out.
Because one of the reasons, for example, one of the reasons I wanted to invite Tony is because of critical thinking. Because I met him before in a party and we start talking. And I was like, okay, this guy. And when I was seeing your reels, I was like, okay, this guy also have, because till now, I didn't have, except with Tony, I didn't have the podcast that I dream about. Because I want to do a podcast where the conversation is 100% serious, not joke, but 100% like this abstract thinking / critical thinking.
Going deep.
We went deep, me and Tony, about God and time.
Yeah.
And it was, when I saw the YouTube retention, like it was 12 minutes a line. Nobody skipped that part when we start talking about God and time.
Because it's very important to people. Yes. Or have you ever thought about how much time you really have left?
This is what I think about when I want to sleep.
No, like
in life.
There's a chart. Okay, you should look it up, and it shows you. It's called the chart of life, and it basically it plots one circle every single week. And so it says this axis is the years of your life from 1 to 100, and this axis over here is the number of weeks per year.
Months than weeks.
Yeah, something
Then
like that.
days, and then you see that I don't have enough weeks.
If you look at how old are you?
I'm 31.
You're 31. I'm 26. So we are basically 30%, not 30%. According to the chart, we're 30% through life, but realistically, we're 50% through life.
Yeah,
because by the time you're 50,
done. You don't have time to do stuff.
can you jump off of a building and make sure your knees are secured? No.
Actually, I will try to secure that from now because I am not taking care of my health.
Yeah, same.
These 3 years, 2 years, I would say, I'm doing bad with that. But you're right. And actually, you know how I think about this? Because, you know, I'm an expat here. And when I came, my parents were not here.
Mm-hmm.
So my parents were in Algeria. I was here. I said to myself, look, if my father will have like 20 years more to live.
Yeah.
All right. He's in Algeria. I'm here. And let's say I will go one time a year, I'll go to Algeria to visit him. This is if I go each year.
Yeah.
And I will stay 15 days. All right. Let's say the 15 days, I will spend them day by day with him.
Yeah.
Which is impossible because I will spend 3-4 days and then I'm going to do other stuff.
Yeah.
So 20 time, 15 days. No. So it's 20.
You're right. You're right.
So it's 300 days.
That's it. You got a year left with them.
I have a year
left.
Less than a year left with my father in his. So I will live with my father 1 year within 20 years.
Imagine.
Which is not enough. So me and my aunt, I have an aunt here. We brought them all. So now they're all here. And they're in Sharjah, so I can see them in Sharjah.
Bro, this people don't think about. Literally, I had this exact same thought process because I used to live in Sharjah with my family, and I'm working in Dubai. And every day I would spend 1.5 hours in traffic, and I was like, 1.5 hour multiplied by 30, that's how many hours? It's around.
You do these calculations as well.
Yeah.
We're paranoid.
Yeah.
That's paranoid.
It gave me an answer that I'm spending 1 month every year in traffic.
Yes, that's actually true.
To cut that down, I just shifted to Dubai, to JVC, because I was like, I cannot spend 1 month sitting in traffic and not doing something productive with that
and that's very depressing. I hate traffic, man. I used to live in Ta'awun as well because I actually. So
I grew up in Abu Shagara.
You grew up in Sharjah?
Abu Shagara, which is the depth of Sharjah.
Really? So you're a Sharjah boy?
Yeah. But I was born and raised in Sharjah, but I've spent my whole life in Dubai. Work, school, university.
Majority of people are like... Yeah. Actually, I came first in Dubai... I came first to Dubai in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
I came back to Algeria 2008.
Mm-hmm.
And then, when I came, I was with my family. Then we went back to Algeria. And again, I came back alone in 2015. And since then, I didn't go to Algeria.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's
for
crazy.
8 years, I didn't go to Algeria. And that's when I start thinking about like the time that I'm spending with my family. I was like... Wow.
Time is... You never get time back, man. And that's why I tell people when they tell me, so how much money are you going to make from what you're doing? Or it's like, bro, you're not taking a single dollar with you to the grave, but you are taking the time that you spent.
True.
And that's all you can account for.
That's the only thing that you consume properly.
Yeah. So like this is my question to myself. Yeah. If what I'm doing in my life, even right now sitting here, is this making me happy or is it not making me happy? The ratio should be that I'm at least 51% happy in my life, you know?
But you know, actually, Fahed, I wanna, that's good you talked about that. It's a trap, happiness, you know that?
100%, bro.
Look, don't look for happiness. Believe me.
Yeah.
Don't look for happiness because I was thinking about happiness for a long time. Like, everybody's looking for happiness. Everybody want to be happy, but happiness is not the goal.
You can't achieve 100% happiness.
Happiness is the result.
Yeah.
And since I started thinking like this, I become happy because once you make something as a goal, the scarcity of losing it make you lose it.
For sure. No, so when I say I want to be happy, I say I want to do things that I like. I don't want to do things that I don't like.
Thank you. That's it.
So even when I'm doing things I like, I can be unhappy. Like making videos is not easy, man. Like,
bro, thank you. You're right.
So I mean, I work with so many people, and sometimes it's my passion to make videos, but they can make me not like what I'm doing because of the way they react to certain things, right? And so I go like, I don't want to do this, but then at the same time, I thank Allah and I'm grateful that I'm able to do at least what I like.
True, but you know something, Fahad, that you mentioned this subject. When you don't do them, if you try to stop doing them, something in your head start eating you from inside.
Yeah.
Like, wow, it's like you cannot survive.
Yeah.
So it means this is your calling.
Yeah.
And your calling, if you, and this is what I told you. This is what I told you. Don't go for happiness.
Yeah.
Your calling is not supposed to be happy. Do you think like our idols, for example, the prophets?
Yeah.
Do you think they were looking to be happy or to like be fulfilled and reach something?
Man,
You got my point.
I go back to history of Islam sometimes, and like just ask yourself, bro, no internet, no source of knowledge, and like you have to spread the message of Islam.
Yeah.
And humans are humans at the end of the day. And to be able to put up with society, like the way, like today, you get one negative comment, you see people, they break.
Yeah, they
Right?
break. They
break.
get pissed and yeah.
Our Prophet, what he went through.
Bro, like for
Like,
the non-Muslim listeners or the people who don't have an idea.
Yeah, you
It's
just have
a
to kind
lot.
of look at the story of the Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah, but
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
there is all the prophets, majority of
Yeah.
the prophets, they went through hell,
Yeah.
man. They went through hell. And you know, coming back to happiness, they were, I would not call it happy. They were in peace. There is other words that are more important. They were in peace.
They were satisfied.
They were satisfied.
Yeah.
I think happiness is a trap. That's why I said happiness is.
100%.
I think we need to be clear about this, because I see a lot of people like, oh, I want to be happy. I'm looking for happiness, and this is not what you should be looking
more
for.
than that, bro, there are a lot of people selling happiness.
True.
A lot of influencers and just people on earth,
It's a product.
they've put a price on happiness, and they say happiness can be bought for this much, or happiness can be bought, and people believe it. And I think it's the biggest scam.
Persuading happiness itself and talking about it is somehow a scam. It's
Yeah.
somehow wrong.
Yeah.
You know, because if you think about it, just think about it. What's happiness? Happiness is a spike in your
brain.
in your brain,
Yeah.
like out of dopamine or other
Yeah.
Other hormones.
Yeah, it's just a
So
chemical
it's a
reaction.
result of something.
Yeah.
So the goal is the thing, not the
Yes.
feeling that comes out of it. And believe me, since I started doing my editings and all of that, I'm not 100% happy as we talk
Same,
about
bro,
happiness, but
same.
I'm in peace. My brain, it's thinking properly. I don't think about weird stuff because my brain is also weird.
I
We're
get
talking
you.
about gym.
I get you.
I have other things.
Yeah.
I'm not from scarcity or fear, but sometimes my brain
Existential
has to
crisis.
think exactly.
Yeah.
Existential.
What am I?
Yeah,
Am
what
I
am
even
I?
real?
My hand,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And you have to give it something that is satisfying. Otherwise, it will
Yeah.
go into stuff. Somehow it's good,
Yeah.
but a brain that thinks a lot, it needs its calling.
Yeah. 100%.
But I want to come back also to the movie thing,
Yeah.
to YouTube and the movie idea.
So, I mean, it was just a crazy experiment in my head. I saw how Andrew Tate blew up because so many different accounts were posting him.
Yeah.
And I was like, if you take that same theory, okay, and you test it with a movie, when Squid Games first came out, the way it went viral, or how I discovered it, was part 1 of 100. Someone had posted a small clip of Squid Games on TikTok. So I was like, okay, if that's the case, if you can produce a decent level show or a movie, and you can make 100,000 clips and have 100,000 accounts posted on TikTok, randomly spam it. And if, let's say, it kind of works, it kind of starts getting traction, people start watching it, then they will want to watch the full thing. So let's say each account has a link in their bio to a website, xyz.com, which you create. And now you're going to have, if the movie is good, you can test through an organic audience that people are giving their feedback. And now this is not Netflix. This is not YouTube. This is not a platform that is controlled by another organization. This is a platform controlled by you. If this works in theory, then you can go out there. Of course, it would need a lot of time, resources, money. But you can then, like you said, use other influencers, use other actors, use other existing people on, like in the normal everyday life, and create a movie out of them. And this, I feel like there's a market between Hollywood and YouTube. And like, it's a very niche market and it's not tapped into yet, but I believe everyone is an actor. From the person that you meet who's on your doorstep when they deliver you food, to the person that you meet who you're working for, everyone is Like, I'm an actor, you're an actor, and we're all just fulfilling, like, us being ourselves is an act. And so if you can create, like, my whole objective is to create content out of almost anything and everything. You can give me air and tell me to make this air go viral, and I have to think on how to make it go viral. So if everyone is an actor, then it's just like you kind of have to read between the lines and figure out the structure to make it viral, which means that everyone is living a life, which is a movie worth watching.
True.
You just have to kind of crack it.
But actually, to come back to, you're right about everybody is an actor and living and being, you're living your character.
Yeah.
But an actor in the cinema is somebody who can act someone else.
Exactly. But if you can take someone who's living already there, like the Truman Show.
Yeah, the Truman.
If you can, if I can record someone, I mean, obviously I'm not going to do what they did with Jim Carrey, but like if I can create a movie out of myself by living my life, I've basically made an unlimited movie that everyone wants to find out.
But that's what's happening with vlogging,
that's
right?
what's happening. But vlogging is no longer vlogging. Vlogging is now become, check out what happens when we burn this $1 million car, or like we flew from this country to this country. Challenges. Vlogging has gone in that direction. I started vlogging with the objective of documenting my life.
You know that guy, I think his name is something Suljuk or something. He's an American guy. He's a bodybuilder.
Mm-hmm.
He's a sensation in YouTube now.
Okay.
He make videos, no thumbnail, no editing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nice.
And he have millions of views.
So
because
this
he just
proves,
did what you said.
This
yes.
proves the theory.
Brother, he post a random video, minimum 200,000. Minimum 200,000.
Have you seen Outdoor Boys?
No.
You should check him out. He's like a 40, 50-year-old American dad who's also a masonry. He has a church and he's a lawyer as well. He just makes camping videos in Alaska. 50-minute, 40-minute. He goes to the middle of the forest. It's 10 feet snow. He's making a cave and he's showing how you should make fire. That's it. Millions of views. 7 million, 8 million, 10 million. He's blowing up, and he's been making videos from 8 years.
Well, it takes time with YouTube, you know. Actually, 8 years of YouTube. If you do 8 years of YouTube, you're worldwide known.
Yeah.
You cannot. It's impossible for you to do. Maybe there's examples I don't know. But if you are consistent and you have good content,
I think if you do 8 years in any industry on this earth, you'll succeed.
Actually, you're right.
Because you've done 8 years of, let's say, just sharpening pencils. Nobody can sharpen a pencil better than you.
Then there is only like a pinnacle of people who can do that. Yeah.
There's nobody out there who's retarded enough to do that.
You're right. You're right. But
So-
you know, actually, you said something interesting, Fahed, about Squid Game and YouTube and Hollywood and all of that. And I want to tell you something also that is happening to Hollywood, just for the sake of movie making, because you are also interested in that. Do you know that Hollywood was monopolizing movies?
Of course.
All right. What happened is that Netflix enabled a lot of people to make movies.
Yes.
Or a lot of nations.
On their streaming
or
channel.
a lot of countries. Not only that, they enabled them to do movies with a different language.
Yes.
Squid Game is one of the most watched series
Internationally.
and people like to watch it in Korean.
Yeah.
Money Heist.
In
Casa del Papel.
Wow,
In
man.
Spanish.
I watched it twice.
You know Dark? The German series?
Yes, I've seen it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, I've seen Ozark. Or I've not seen Dark.
You have to see Dark, man.
But
if
it's
you
also
like time,
German.
It's
also-
German.
maybe it's the same. Ozark. It's about a kid who goes in the cave and he.
Yeah,
this
Dark.
Is the one. Yeah, I've
Dark.
Seen it. Bro, I stopped after second season. It was screwing my mind too
Brother,
much.
I couldn't stop. I finished it in like one
What
week.
was the end?
I cannot tell you, man. It's
You
too
have to
bad.
tell me,
No,
bro.
you know why you couldn't watch it? Because you didn't watch it in the right time of your life.
Maybe.
You need to have like when everything is set, because it fucks your brain.
Bro, I reached
There is a lot of
I reached
thinking in
season 2. I understood the timeline. You've seen Predestination? It's a timeline. It's a time-based movie where she's a guy in the beginning, then she's a
Oh yeah. It actually fucks itself
Yeah,
and
it's
becomes itself.
asexual.
Yeah, it's a loop.
If you can watch that movie, you can watch any time travel movie.
Brother, I watch all the look. I'm
Yeah,
obsessed
I've seen
with
all
time.
time travel
So
movies.
you were obsessed with jinn. I'm obsessed with time. So time is my jinn. I think a lot about. I have scripts about time. I will tell you about them. We can
Bro.
shoot one maybe.
Since we're saying time, I believe time is like, you can't say it, but like I think Allah created time, and it's like a fabric, like it's a cloth maybe, and we are just on that dimension.
This is what we spoke, me and Tony.
Yeah,
And Tony,
yeah.
he agrees with you.
Because if you're watch Interstellar, right? It's either that or it's shirk. I can't say it. It's Islam. You can't claim what Allah is, right? So we can't talk about it. Yeah. So time, from what humans can understand, is just a unit of measure of how things are moving. But it is just 1% of what this universe is, I think.
Actually,
because in some places time works differently.
Look, there is. We need to involve a little bit of physics, and we have to use the terminology
I love physics,
of physics.
By the way.
Yeah, I love it too. My father is a physician.
Wow.
So basically, what you're talking about, the cloth is not time; it's space time.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So we call it space time. But to come back to to what you said about time, that we are in it.
Yeah.
So not us who are in time. The whole existence. So you see what you call existence?
Yeah.
It's on time.
Yeah.
So basically time does not exist. Time is a pillar of existence. So without time, there will be no existence.
That's crazy.
If there is no existence, there will still be something, a cloth, but it's empty.
It's just a plain field.
Exactly.
But once you put time into it, it's like the ingredient of existence.
No, it's like when you put energy. So time and energy give existence. So it's like,
and they say jinn have the ability to convert matter into energy and then back into matter. So they're basically able to manipulate this part of time, I guess.
Actually, it's much more complicated.
Because if they're teleporting and moving through things this fast,
jinn or spirits, they are a higher dimensional beings.
Okay.
All right. Me and you are 3-dimensional beings. Actually, we are physically in the 3-dimensional world.
Yeah.
All right. And we are multi-dimensional beings inside our spirit and our soul. Actually, not spirit, our soul. And we see life in 2-dimensional, or we have a 2-dimensional perspective.
Okay.
Or perception.
Fair enough.
So we have 2-dimensional perception in a 3-dimensional world with a multi-dimensional
soul.
Being, soul.
Yeah.
All right. So let's downsize this. If we were 2-dimensional, so if we live in a flat paper,
Yeah.
all right, and we are dots, all right, we are dots in that paper, and we bring a sphere.
Yeah.
If you insert the sphere in that plate, us as the population inside the dots, are we gonna see a sphere or a line?
A line.
We're gonna see a line because we cannot see the sphere. Our perception is one-dimensional.
We can only see straight. Yeah.
Exactly. So jinn is like a multi-dimensional.
In that paper.
But in that paper, it can transform into a line, but it can go out and in. But
Correct.
The dots are stuck. But if you come back to the dots maybe they don't know that they're lines.
Straight lines.
You got my point, that they're
Fair
one-dimensional.
enough.
So this is
That's
just to
crazy.
downsize the number of the dimensions.
That's crazy, man. And that just tells you, you know how in Islam they speak about the 7 heavens. Or this, like, their levels, right? So I definitely, like, 100%, like, one of the things I have is, like, when we die in the hereafter, like, I just want to have science conversations in Jannah. Like, I just want to know everything about the universe.
A science conversation, or I call them deep conversations. I love them. Like, I have a group of friends and we can talk for hours. You know, I will tell you.
I have a few friends like this as well.
I'll tell you something that happened. I don't know if it happened to you before, but I have a friend called Hani.
Okay.
And we had an 8-hour conversation.
Wow.
8 hours. So we went to 4 places. It was a rainy day, and maybe it was the best day that I had in Dubai.
MashaAllah.
Right, and one day I'll make you meet this guy. And see, it's the best mind sharpening experience that I had in my life.
Yeah.
But to come back to movies, so I was telling you that now Netflix enabled us to make our movies.
Yeah.
And if we go a little bit more further in the future, YouTube will enable not only production to make movies, that any creator, content creator, to be a producer.
True.
And this is the wave I want to catch.
Yeah.
Because the wave of Hollywood, it's already in the, in the beach. It reached the beach.
Today's Hollywood is TikTok and YouTube.
It's true, bro.
Today's Hollywood, like, you can become a star in your region just by being famous on these platforms, and that's what you need. You don't want to be. You don't have to be Tom Cruise, Shah Rukh Khan, all these big Muhammad Ramadan, these big names. They live their life. They are at par with some influencers. There are some celebrities on this social media that are equal in following to some influencers.
It's the new type of celebrity.
Yeah. So, and it is also going to, this is also just has its time, by the way. This is limited. This is only now. This is going to be replaced by something else in the future, which you and I don't know of.
If you want to think about it, what is it?
I think about it all the time. And the only logical answer that comes to me is it is going to be something that our existing technology cannot comprehend, but something that will feed into our dopamine rush.
Yeah.
Because we are, as humans, always looking for the next rush.
I think it's related to VR.
VR is too simple of an answer.
Oh, really?
I believe VR is too easy. Like if you ask someone what's the next thing and they say VR, I feel like their knowledge is just limited to what people have told them. You have to look beyond that. You have to think deeper, and you have to study the history of mankind, and you have to then kind of create a projection. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what they're going to create next. Maybe the technology is already there. They haven't released it out there. But just like TikTok came and they disrupted the market, just like the internet came and disrupted the market, there is going to be something that is going to come and again disrupt the market. And the people who will accept it will grow with it. The people who will reject it will not grow with it. You just have to be keeping an open mind, and like you should be like a satellite waiting to catch.
And do you think it's going to be in our lifetime? Do you think
100% is going to be in our lifetime, because the speed at which we're moving is insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like we're consuming and exhausting things really fast. TikTok as an application's shelf life 4 years. It's saturated.
Yeah, it's saturated now.
Instagram took 10 years. So if TikTok took 4 years, then the next thing is going to take how long?
A month. Okay, look, there is an interesting thing we do in Checked. It's about questions. It's related to Dubai. It's gonna be a reel. It's for the reels. It's
sure,
it's not for the podcast. It's for the reels.
Sure.
I'm even thinking to clip it out of the reel.
Done.
I think you saw it. I did it with Zuhib and Tony.
I don't think I saw it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's the only thing that really went really viral in my short form content.
I encourage it even more then.
All right, go ahead. So we're gonna start now. So it's basically a series of comparisons, and you have to choose one. All right. So TikTok or Instagram?
TikTok.
Sharjah or Dubai?
Sharjah.
Short form content or long form content?
Long form content.
Reels or stories?
Stories.
YouTube or Netflix?
YouTube.
Do or itisalat?
Can I say no to both?
Oh my god, that was a good reaction. Okay. Emirates Airlines or Etihad Airways?
Emirates Airlines.
Dubai Mall or Mall of the Emirates?
Dubai Mall.
The Walk, JBR, or City Walk?
City Walk.
Oh, you know your answers. I like that. MBD or DIB?
MBD as in the road?
No, the banking.
NBD or DIB?
Neither?
No, NBD.
MBD,
Yeah.
okay. Dubai Marina or downtown?
Downtown.
Uber or Kareem?
Uber.
Gucci or Louis Vuitton?
Louis Vuitton.
You're not into those things.
I'm not into
That's a Tony question.
Yeah. I don't have either of the products.
Actually, I worked in Louis Vuitton, but I don't like to wear any brand. I just like to wear something simple. Talabat or Deliveroo?
Talabat.
All right, Talabat. Okay, that's cool. Wild Wadi Water Park or Atlantis Water Park?
Atlantis Water Park.
Starbucks or Arabica?
I don't drink coffee, so...
You don't drink coffee?
No.
I thought you're a coffee guy.
No, zero coffee. Zero caffeine. I mean, I drink Pepsi, Coca-Cola, 7-Up, all these soda soft drinks, but I'm even cutting them off now. I'm more of like, I have my own natural caffeine.
Bro, I love caffeine.
Yeah.
I love coffee. MR or Subha?
MR.
Range Rover or G-Wagon?
Range Rover.
iPhone or Samsung?
iPhone. No questions asked there.
That's yeah. Or there is another one, maybe because I'm not gonna put all of them in the reel. I'm gonna put the best ones. But someone from the audience told me to add this: Burj Khalifa or Burj Al Arab?
Burj Al Arab.
Burj Al Arab.
Yeah.
I thought you're gonna be Burj Khalifa.
You've been inside Burj Khalifa's apartments?
No, I've
If
been
you,
in
if
like
you, if you go
not an
inside Burj Khalifa's apartment,
No, I've
and,
been once with Rizzi. Yeah.
and if you go inside Burj Al Arab's apartment, Burj Al Arab is more spacious, in my opinion, comparatively.
Bro, Burj Al Arab is dazzling, but I think Burj Khalifa is just the view.
If I want Burj Khalifa, I would take it as a view, not as an apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the worst thing, the only bad thing about living in Burj Khalifa is that you don't have a Burj Khalifa view.
That's
So,
that's the biggest paradox of living in Burj Khalifa.
So yeah, it's like Burj Khalifa.
Yeah.
Living in an apartment near to Burj Khalifa, I think
It's better.
It's worth
It's more
it.
expensive.
Really? I didn't know
One of
that.
my real estate brokers told me this. You can get an apartment facing the Burj Khalifa 7 million dirhams. That same size inside Burj Khalifa is 5 million dirhams.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It
You're paying
makes
for the view.
perfect sense.
Yeah.
It's the view, man. You have
Yeah.
the view of the
And by the way,
tallest building in the world.
This, if you clip this, it can go viral. Because
Clip
this what we just said. Because this exact video, my real estate broker, he made it and he went viral with it, and so many people copied it.
Bro, I'm gonna clip it. It's gonna
Sure,
be
man.
maybe our first.
Go for it.
Fahed checked.
Done. Do you want me to say it to the camera?
No, as you no. This is like
Okay.
it's like a signature
Done.
ending.
Done.